And we are back at Evergreen Speedway. Steve Mortland here, Tom Glithero there, and we have got a pretty exciting 30-lap main event for Northwest Motorsports Street Stock coming up. Want to mention to you, it's brought to you by Bud Light Seltzer with unquestionably good black cherry, lemon, lime, strawberry, and mango. Refreshing Bud Light Seltzer has less than 2 carbs and is your perfect summer refreshment. Let's get you the lineup coming up with that, and here is Tom Glithero.
You bet. It's the Northwest Motorsports Street Stock Division. Starting on the pole in the 14 car, it'll be Cullen Hubbard. Outside of him in the 43, Sheridan Vincent. Inside row 2, the 45, Nick Beecher. Outside the 44, Mike Malthaler. In row 3, Mark Hubbard, father of Cullen Hubbard in the 41 car. Ted Lindgren in that beautiful number 88 outside of row 3. And in the 4th row, the 3 car, Jesse Jensen. And outside of him, the 28 car of Dave Lund.
All right, and in the number 19, we'll have our in-car camera for this event. That is Jake Grant, Jeff Miller in the 30, Kenny Erickson in car number 22, Cale Cheth in the 23K, and the veteran Jim Fody in the number 85 car will round out the field. And like you mentioned, there is just some absolutely incredible craftsmanship in these race cars out there that obviously I have gone on and on about the 88 of Ted Lindgren. The Hubbard cars are just spectacular. This number 3 that Jesse Jensen is behind the wheel of again. Dirk Kruiswijk owns the car, a former champion in this division many years ago.
If Jesse put it together, it's gorgeous.
Yeah,
you know that.
You know it. There's nobody better at it. All right, let's get this thing going, and let's do it in style with Cullen Hubbard and Sheridan Vincent on the front row, Nick Beecher and Mike Marthaler in row number 2. A nice tight field coming out of turn number 2 as they are on the 3/8, heading down into turn number 3 as they are
2 by 2, huh?
Yeah, no kidding. Look at that pile as
Maybe
they come out of turn number 4.
Wide there for a minute.
And it is going to be by a nose, Cullen Hubbard in the number 14 car. Good to see a father and son crew out here. There's Dave Lund in that gorgeous number 28. That was going to be on my list of cars to ooh and ah about is Lindgren. Come on, hang on there. Oh, he just belched.
We talk about how gorgeous the car is, and we put the kiss of death.
Yeah, sorry, Ted.
On
It
Ted
seems like
Lindgren.
every week I do it to somebody, and I so apologize to that. But we'll get Ted back out on the track as we bring it back upstairs. But again, the amount of effort that these teams put into these cars, Tom, it just absolutely impresses me. I'm so looking forward to what Jake Grant's going to bring us here on in-car camera as we get back to our 30-lap main event for the Northwest Motorsports Street Stocks.
As you can see, it's Cullen Hubbard followed by Sheridan Vincent. Ted Lindgren, as we know, he'll be going to the back. That's the penalty for bringing out that yellow flag. Mark Marthaler. Davey Lund, that is a hybrid Camaro.
Yeah.
What is it, a 2019 on one end and
68 or 69 on the back end. It's just a phenomenal looking car.
I gotta wonder how that came about in the shop.
Well,
let's take these 2 cars that are 40 years apart and stick them together.
Right hand, left hand. You know how it is. Speedway Chevrolet pace car pulls off, and we are back at it with Cullen Hubbard and Sheridan Vincent, 14 and 43 respectively, as they are coming out of turn 2. As we've got a nice battle. Looks like that is Ted Lindgren still back in that spot. He's at the back there. That'll all cycle when they come across this time, as we have got a complete lap in the books. There it is. See how it all changes. And this side, you can see it on your screen now. A little bit different view than we've had. And they tell you what the lap is, what their lap times is, and the differential between their position and the person behind him, and also the person in front of him. So kind of a cool way to follow these things, as it is still Cullen Hubbard in that 14.
Cullen Hubbard, 3rd generation driver. Grandpa Rick drove a little bit of everything in the Pacific Northwest, traveled, ran here at Evergreen Speedway for years, supplied the tires for the competitors.
Oh, no.
Whoa. And a
Looks
couple
like
cars.
Dave Lund is one of the cars that's up on the top. Yep, there he is in that gorgeous silver Chevrolet Camaro. Like Tom mentioned, the nose on that car is 2019 or 2020.
I don't think that right front's doing what a right front's supposed to do.
Yeah, and boy, I tell you, if you're going to have a car like that, if you're going to make have to do body panels, they're a lot easier to find them for the newer Camaros than it would be for the late model or the 68, 69 model in the back end. Jesse Jensen continues an impressive run as he is behind the wheel of that number 3 Chevrolet Monte Carlo. Dirk Kruzwick owns it, like we mentioned earlier. And Mike Marthaler, a longtime campaigner in this division. It was kind of cool to see, and I think last year, a couple times when our Granite Sprint Car Series ran, Mike had a car that he somehow got into and had a blast out there doing it. Here comes Nick Beecher down on the inside with Mark Hubbard in the 41 car all over the back end of the 45 of our friend Nick.
Mark Hubbard has won a lot of races here at Evergreen Speedway.
He has.
Doing a great job. Kind of a great opportunity. He came back. He ran a super late model last year, moved back to the street stock division so he could run with his son. Nothing could be cooler than what he's in out there with his son right now, and both of them are doing a very, very nice job. You can see Ted Lindgren working his way back up through the field after that spin off of turn 3-4.
See also the number 19 car of Jake Grant. We're waiting to see some pretty cool in-car shots out of that young man as he is working his way through the field. Ted Lindgren, as Tom mentioned, moved up into that 5th spot.
Grant working all over Cullen right there. You can see him working very, very hard on Cullen Hubbard in the 14 car. So we haven't quite decided what we're going to call Jake Grant. If he's Duke Jr., the son of Duke, or maybe we just shouldn't call him anything. Huh?
Send your thoughts to Evergreen Speedway. And we'll have kind of a year-long contest, but it's so good to have him out there. And like you said, his dad raced out here for a long time, a great personality and one of the fun people to get to know. There's a good shot of the 45 of Nick Beecher, and there's another father-son story as well. His dad, Dan, we didn't get too much of a chance to watch him in the first 50-lap Speedway Chevrolet Pro Late Model main event. He'll be coming back out here in a few minutes after this one is over. But Nick does so much work on that Pro Late Model and his own Northwest Motorsports Street Stock here. You see him having a very respectable run here on lap 13 is the one they're working on with Mark Hubbard right behind him. But, that's kind of cool. We talk all season long about family involvement out here, right? And there's no better example than the Grants and the Hubbards and the Beechers and the Wilkinsons when they're running. It goes on and on. It's so cool to see.
Right. There's that 3-car, Jesse Jensen. That car was years in the making before it found its way to the oval. But, Jesse is one of the great craftsmen in the Pacific Northwest. He did a lot of work on super late models throughout the years. Ran what they called bomber back in the day. Ended up in the creek one night when I was here. Fortunately, the car didn't get deep enough in the water that he had to swim out, but he's been around here a long time. A couple of years ago, decided he was going to dust off the uniform and come back out and do some racing. We're doing a great job. I'm going to guess before we're halfway, 15 laps, Jesse's going to have that thing up there beating on that bumper of Mike Marthaler in the 44.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised about that at all. And I was as surprised as anyone last year when I was looking at the results and I saw Jesse Jensen win a street stock main. I thought, wow, when did that happen? There's got to be something that just wasn't quite right here. But he kind of got the bug bit and put together a car. And you can take a look at these cars, especially the Camaros that are out there right now. Mike Marthaler is driving one, and the type of car that Nick Beecher and Mark Hubbard are in as well. Those are all Jesse kind of designed that. And when the street stock division took kind of a radical turn and they really did the upgrade, Jesse was the one that just kind of put that whole thing together. And it met with a lot of controversy, but Jesse was just forward thinking enough to know what this division was going to end up being, and we see it right now.
Really, really impressed with Nick Beecher. Beecher doing a great job here tonight in that 45 car, just coming off turn 4 to the start-finish line. You can see him coming down there right now. That car looks pretty darn good, pretty healthy as it comes off turn 2. But Nick running in 3rd spot, keeping Hubbard off and Lindgren behind him. If you can do that, you're running pretty well.
I think the thing that's impressing me, too, about Nick, as we see Hubbard taking a look down on the inside, watch him going into turn number 2. He will hit that same spot. And if you say that, there they go around the 41 and the 45 in turn number 1. We're going to have, hopefully, a replay of that kind of figure out how this one all came about. Hubbard just got loose coming across the start-finish line and unfortunately got into Nick Beecher. And then there's Lindgren as he climbed up the side of Beecher's number 45 car. So as we talk about him, maybe that's what we need to quit doing, Tom.
I'm
is talking
feeling
about
bad.
these guys.
Sorry,
and
Nick.
I think they're going to have far
Sorry.
more success.
Sorry, Nick. Is we say something
that's all we
nice
can tell
about
you.
somebody,
Yeah, sorry,
it
man.
all goes up in smoke,
Right,
so to
yeah,
speak.
Yeah, I'm going to develop a thick skin on this too. I don't want to lose any sleep.
I'm going
with
to
these
change my phone number.
Yeah, me too. All right, Northwest Motorsport bringing you our street stock division for 2020. So thankful to have that great business on board with us. Boy, they have got car lots everywhere. They just opened one up in Marysville on 136th and Smoky Point Boulevard. In that area, check them out. They are truck experts, and if you need a truck, Northwest Motorsport is a great place to check out. So with that being said, let's get this back underway. Mike Marthaler with Jesse Jensen, and seeing if Nick Beecher is, they'll have to cycle through one more time. I don't think Nick made it out of that one in very good shape. 10 to go as our Northwest Motorsport Street Stock. Good battle up front. Look at that. Jesse Jensen working the outside with a bit of an advantage now coming out of turn number 4. And let's see who's going to have the power difference. It's Marthaler as he really gunned it. Ted Lindgren just keeps creeping up into the picture. Look at that. That number 88 car is just amazing. He's just been off the track. He's been on the side of Beecher's car, and yet he still keeps going forward and mechanically.
Oh,
look
push,
at that.
Shove, huh?
How about
Our leader's
that?
playing just a little rough.
Well, now we're inside with Jake Grant as we got lap number 23 we're working on right now. Jake just kicked back.
Looks like took a shot right there on the door. I think that's Jesse Jensen on the inside of Grant. You could hear the contact.
Yeah,
see
you
his
could.
hands move
and
a little bit.
You see some smoke. I thought we saw some up in turn number 4. This is going to be interesting to see how this all pans out. Jesse up in that 3rd spot in the number 3 car, the black Chevrolet Monte Carlo, as we are going to be at lap number 24. As we have it's been a pretty exciting race for our Northwest Motorsports Street Stocks. There's Jesse down on the inside. He's got up on his outside as we see the...
I think that's Grant on the outside right there.
I think it is too. Grant going to see how he comes out of turn number 4 as he goes around, and that'll put him up at the top. No contact there.
Oh,
you
can
just
see that one
narrowly
coming.
missed Kenny Erickson getting into that. So while they're getting this cleaned up, as we see the 19 has spun in. Let's go back inside with Jake Grant and see how this all kind of transpired. Jake taking a look. Oh, and just got loud right there. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back here. Home Track Heroes, CW11.